Hi everyone. Today I have the pleasure of being in Tokyo visiting Sigma Corporation and sitting down with their CEO, Yamaki-san. This has been a really big year for you guys with the release of, well, right here, the BF camera and the 300 to 600 mm lens coming out at the start of this year. It seemed the whole photography industry's attention was on Sigma. Certainly they dominated the CP Plus show earlier this year. Earlier today, I got the chance to sit down with three of the engineers who were behind this fantastic lens that I think is probably the most exciting telephoto lens to be released in the last decade. And the media attention on Sigma this year reminds me of a lens that was released a long time ago, in 2012 now, that really, for me anyway, introduced me to Sigma, and that was the 35mm art lens for DSLR lenses. If you weren't in shooting at that time, there was kind of a perception that third-party lenses weren't of the same quality as Nikon and Canon at that time. But that lens, for I think the industry, definitely for me, shattered that idea because it was so far ahead of what Canon and Nikon were producing. It was kind of amazing, and I'm sure it led a lot of people to really wake up to Sigma. So actually, that was a big year for both of us. I think that was around the time that you became CEO, and it was also the year that I started running my photo tour. And I think you launched your Global Vision Initiative that year. Can you tell us a bit about?
Yes, that's right. The Sigma was founded in 1961 by my father, Michihiro Yamaki. And he's been the owner of the company and the CEO of the company until he died. He died in 2012, January 2012. And then after he passed away, I became the CEO of the company. I've been working in Sigma since 1993. So at that time, I've already worked for Sigma nearly 30 years. But after my father passed away, I became the CEO. And since then, I'm running the company.
Okay. And how was that transition to, I mean, a lot has happened in the past 13 years, but was it a coincidence that the Global Vision Initiative and this new series of lenses came out at that time?
As I said, I've been working for the company nearly 30 years. And during this period, I'm always wishing to make the best products, best quality products in the industry. That has been my vision and dream. And then, of course, my father also had a dream to make the best of the best products. But when I realized my father had a very limited life and I will become the next CEO, I started the project of the Art Series lenses and talked to our engineer. And I just asked our engineer to make the best of the best products. And engineer just did a great job.
It's a long time ago now, but do you recall it was such a groundbreaking product? It sounds now, you know, lenses are so good now from a lot of manufacturers, but at that time, it was a huge leap over what was already out there. Was there some new technology they developed, or was it a completely new design for a 35mm lens?
At that time, the number of the pixel count of the DSLRs had been increasing, especially the introduction of the Nikon D800 was quite shocking. Actually, at that time, we also released the SD1 camera, which is also provide very, very sharp and high resolution images. But back then, the resolution of the camera body is a little bit ahead compared to the resolution of the lenses.
Gotcha.
There were not so many high resolution, super performing lenses that support such a high resolution camera body. And then I've been listening such voices of the photographers or customers who really needs the lenses that support the high resolution cameras. And at that time, it was not so easy, quite challenging to achieve such a high resolution lens for zoom lens. But I found the opportunity to achieve the even higher resolution lens for prime lens. And also, I found that all the prime lenses back then are quite old design. Most of the 35 f1.4, 51.4 are quite old lens and not so good for such a high resolution camera.
Okay.
And I'm not a good photographer, but I like photography, and I normally use the prime lens. So, from my personal preference, I really wanted to make the best prime lens. Then we had we came up with the idea to create the 35 millimeter f1.4.
So in a way, it was a new generation of lenses, because you're right, I hadn't thought of it that way. Around that time is when, we went from 24 being cutting edge to suddenly jumping over 30 megapixel, and then suddenly we're at 60, 80, 100. So yeah.
Correct.
Now, just if you don't mind talking a little bit about your management style.
Yep.
I've read about it, and I've experienced personally, there's not too many CEOs that you can send casual emails back and forward with. So I was wondering, it seems like as an outsider, Japan seems like business culture is typically more formal than the rest of the world.
Maybe.
And it seems here I've heard you talk about that, it needs to be like a family. So is that something you learned from your father, or that's your own perspective on it? Why is Sigma so different in that regard?
I think I learned a lot from my father. He was a really hands-on CEO and the manager of the corporate manager. He checks every detail of the company, not only the product development, but also manufacturing and sales, marketing, everything. So some people may criticize he was kind of micromanager, but I quite respect such his attitude, and I think I learned a lot from him.
How would you say your style is different from his?
Well, my management style is, I think, my management style is quite similar to the one of my father. But compared to my father's time, I have many talented engineers. When my father started the company, there were not so many engineers. There were not so staff. So my father had no choice but to do everything by himself. But today, I have very talented engineers, very talented factory workers, very talented sales, marketing personnel. So I can work together with them. So my primary role is to show my own vision, share my vision, and then let the others work on their own project or job.
Okay. Is it right your desk is out amongst the engineers? You share the workspace with the engineers?
Yes. I still do not have my own office. I have, instead of having my own office, I have two desks in the office. In our headquarters, the engineers work in 2 floors.
Okay.
So I have 2 desks in each floor. And if I want one day I work on one floor, and next day I work on the other engineering floor. And my desk is very close to the corridor, or how can I say, the place where people passing by, so that they can casually approach to me or talk to me.
I should say, actually, I didn't have it in my notes, but the design of the building is quite interesting. I mean, it's beautiful. There's a lot of modern headquarters that have this integrating nature, but the way the buildings, it's kind of a series of buildings joined by different walkways is quite interesting. Were you involved in the design of the building, and how does the like the flow of people that affect the design of the building?
Yes, I was quite deeply involved in this project because this office was completed, I think, 3 years ago. And during COVID, we were designing, we are preparing for the construction. And due to COVID, I could not travel outside the office. Of course, I couldn't go abroad. And I have to basically stay in Tokyo. And I could not go to the factory, even factory, which is inside Japan. So I could spend a lot of time with architects.
Okay.
And I had many, many meetings and exchanged some ideas or concept of the building.
Okay.
My concept is to create the most comfortable place to work in for our employees. Because our employees spend so many hours, so many days and times in the office. So the office must be the place where they feel very comfortable.
It's interesting. Most of us during COVID just got into baking bread and gained a lot of weight. You designed the whole office, so there you go. Just pivoting, if you don't mind now, to talk about equipment. As I said, I think the 300 to 600 is just spectacular. That's not just words, it's unbelievable. Even now, having spoken to the engineers, I still can't really get my head around how they managed to make it so light and perform so well. But I think that's something that Sigma has done really well over your time. I'm not familiar with the products before that, but identifying gaps in the market that aren't being serviced, but more importantly, that sometimes you see the specification and then, well, I've never heard of that before, but it actually does meet the needs of photographers in a really useful way. I was wondering, did this have its birth in the famous 200 to 500 lens that, to be honest, I've only ever seen at trade shows, but I think I've seen it for 15 years now. Obviously, this is a much more mass market friendly product,
Right.
but was that a predecessor for this, or where did the idea for this one come from?
This lens has nothing to do with the 200, 600 f2.8. It's completely different. I've been dreaming to develop our own 600mm f4 prime lens. I'm wishing to create. I've always wished to make lenses, a product for real professionals. And one of the target photographers are sports photographers. And of course, many of them use 600mm f4 prime. So I wanted to create that kind of lens, but in the market, there are many good 600mm f4 prime from other manufacturers. So in order to create something innovative products, I was considering what Sigma can do for those photographers. And several years ago, not only one, but some photographer asked me if Sigma can make 600mm f4 to do. And then I've been thinking about it. And then I came up with the idea to create 300 to 600 f4 zoom lens. But I don't know how to do it, of course.
I mean, that's really admirable, and you obviously achieved it. As a consumer, I'm so grateful, but as a businessman, I wonder, did you do too well? Because at this price point, if you brought out and used this technology, just a 600 f4 that was 2.9 kilograms at $6,500, it would already be half the price of the competition, and potentially even optically, it could be even optically better than this. So I don't know how to ask this question politely, but why is it so cheap? Is it just to make it accessible to lots of people?
There are several reasons why we can create this kind of innovative product with relatively lower cost or release this product relatively lower price. The first, we keep our company quite small. We have the philosophy called big factory, small office, which means we invest a lot in the factory and also R&D or engineering team. But we have very small office. We have very few people in the administration, sales, marketing. So overall, our office, our company, is quite compact and small compared to our competitors. So I think the headcount and the cost are quite light or small compared to other companies. And also, we can make most of the component here by ourselves. So this kind, in order to process this kind of complicated parts, which requires a very high precision, costs a lot if we outsource from our suppliers.
Sure.
But by doing ourselves, of course, we outsource some simple components. But the very complicated component, which requires a lot of very high precision, we can make it. We can make them by ourselves. So by doing that, we can reduce the production cost.
Okay. Makes sense. I'm curious, I remember hearing you talk about the BF that, or maybe in the FP even, but that you were wanting to make more camera bodies because your father always wanted to make camera bodies. I'm really curious about the Foveon sensors and maybe you can just tell us a little bit about that. I understand they're now a subsidiary of Sigma, but maybe initially they weren't. What can we expect to see in the future?
We are still working on the development of the sensor. We are still in the stage of we call technology development. So we still have not started the design of the actual sensor. We are still working on the design of the pixel architecture.
Okay.
Yeah. But to be honest, the project has been a little bit delayed as previously scheduled because every time we run the wafer and get the prototype sensor, we found some technical issues because we have never designed the sensor by ourselves. Actually, we had the Foveon team, but now mainly Sigma Japan engineering team is working on the sensor development.
Okay.
But I think the technical problems have been narrowing down, and if we become confident the technology is ready for production, we start the design of the sensor and then start the production.
Well, that's great to hear. I know there's a lot of Foveon kind of fans out there. And of course, you've made cameras for a long time, but the huge success of this one will be a great platform for if you're looking to do more, well, at the moment, they're quite niche cameras, like beautiful or video-centered. But if you're going to move into that more mainstream camera section, then it'll be great to see the Foveon sensors come back.
Yes.
The visual identity as well, as if you didn't have a busy enough start of the year with the new camera and lens, also a new visual identity. How did that all come about? It seems like another big turning point for Sigma.
Yeah, actually, it's a big thing to change the visual identity. When we look back our history, we already changed our logo 2 or 3 times, including some minor change. My father often also changed our logo 2 times. So the goal of the company is to make the best products and become the best brand. In order to make ourselves even better, we should not hesitate to change our visual identity.
Sure.
We have to keep updating ourselves. But our vision haven't been changed. Since the beginning of the company, we've been always aiming to make the best products for our customers. And that's a purpose and vision. In order to achieve it, we have to change ourselves continuously. So the introduction of the new visual identity is just a course of such actions to make even better products and to become even better brand.
Got it. This is interesting that you put it that way. I was thinking that for myself, when I'm looking to decide where to go next in my career or my business or anything in life, like a big decision, it's often not, for me anyway, it's not until I look back at the past 5 or 10 years that I recognize what were the big milestones that got me to where I am, and in good and bad ways. So like what maybe was the wrong decision or what has been great. And thinking back to 2012, starting running photo tours, for example, has completely shaped my life and my lifestyle now. It's sorry to put you on the spot, but can you think back of your time as CEO or with the company, what have been the milestone or turning point products or shifts that have led us to where we are now with Sigma?
For me personally, I believe the introduction of foveon sensor was a quite big milestone for me. After we introduced our own camera, which was called SD9, with foveon sensor, many the camera users ask us to make even better lenses, even better products, which can be used for foveon sensor, because foveon sensor back then provides the best, the highest resolution, the best image quality if the lighting condition is.
What year was that? That's around 2010,
2002.
Oh, okay, much earlier.
Then I realized that the customers are always looking for the even better products or best quality products. Back then, some business partners ask us just to release the cheapest products. Some others ask us the better quality product, but many business partners ask me to really provide much cheaper products. But the camera fans or serious photographers ask us to make the best quality products. Then I was quite convinced that's the way Sigma should go. Gotcha. We should continuously aim to create the best quality, best performing products. That's my personal milestone. But as a company, I think the success of the first art lens, 35mm f1.4, was a quite big milestone. We were not sure if such products could be accepted by our customers or market, but the response from the market was overwhelmingly good.
Yeah.
And then we became confident. Again, the customers are always looking for something innovative products.
It's funny thinking back to that time. Now it's so common that this must be back ordered and that must be back ordered. But it seemed to me back in 2012, things were just in stock. You could just go get them. And when that 35 came out and one of my tour guests in Peru had it, everyone was like, oh, I've been looking for this. Can I check it out? And was kind of amazed by it. So I can appreciate why that would be a big turning point. Actually, I was in the room in Photokina at 2018 when you guys announced the L-Mount Alliance, and it thought it was a really forward-thinking and progressive move that I think at the time some people found confusing. Why would competitors come together like that? But as we saw, even Photokina itself ended because the market has shrunk in the past 6 or 8 years. I wonder what, to the extent you can share, what trends do you think we can see in the coming years and what we can expect from Sigma?
I mean, the general market trend.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know. But basically, the trend of the market wouldn't be changed. The customer always looking for the even better quality products and some innovative products. So we just continue what we have been doing since until today. We work hard. We do our best to create the best quality products.
Great. Well, when I take off my YouTuber hat as a shooter and somebody who uses Sigma products, thank you, because you're doing a very good job, and the dedication to producing the best products is really obvious. And also thank you for bringing them out at a price it really is much more reasonable. If you're focused at professionals, it's understandable when things become 5-figure products, but to have things like this, well, both of them, to be honest, I think part of the reason they're sold out isn't just because they're hyped online, it's because they're actually really well priced. So I think it's a winning strategy. I can't wait to see what you guys have coming next. I realize for you guys at home that may sound like I'm being a little bit of a fanboy, or that this is a promotion or something, but this is just coming from the heart. It was a great opportunity to come here and meet today and to chat about your time as CEO of Sigma. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.